And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Function and Flow. It's wonderful to see all of you. Let's go ahead and jump right on into things. I want you to go ahead and pull yourselves up nice and tall. Lift your chin on up. Go ahead and shake your body on out for a moment as well. Shake your arms, your hips, whatever feels right for you. You know how that all goes, right? That's the most important thing here. You listen to yourself. Do what makes you feel good. So right now, by taking this moment right at the very beginning, shaking things on now, kind of letting things settle in for yourself, you get to listen to yourself. Let's go ahead and pull yourself up nice and tall, torso up out of your pelvis. Literally, we're looking to create space in the body and all those major joints, all those parts of who you are. Lift your chin on up once again. Bring your eyes on up. Expand that vision. Breathe on in through your nose, deep down into your belly, well, as low as you can. And then as you breathe out, smile. Let that dopamine, serotonin flow through your system. Your shoulder blades can relax down and back. Your pelvis scooping in underneath into that neutral position. Literally creating a seat for yourself as you slightly lean back on your heels, allowing your chin to come up that high. Allow your smile that much bigger. Let's go ahead and fine-tune our posture. So what we're going to do is just ever so minutely rock forward and back. Maybe not at all for yourself. You're getting better and better at it, aren't you? It's the same thing with our head. Our ears directly above our shoulders. We're going to slightly bring our head forward, back, until you find yourself just feeling good. Finding yourself in alignment. Finding yourself standing in a way where you literally feel gravity coming straight down through your body. As you're standing there, you can ensure that your ears are right above your shoulders, shoulders right above your hips, hips right above your knees, knees above those ankles, and then gravity just continuing straight down through the floor. All that weight, all that pressure, you're getting to take off of yourself. Go ahead and start untying some knots. Focusing right at the front of your throat. You're going to allow your head just to easily come forward and gently rock on back. Continue. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to breathe in through your nose, deep down, as low as you can. Down into your belly, whatever feels right for you, whatever happens for you. Everybody's a little different, right? Bring your head straight on up, chin slightly above level. You bring your head off to one side, and then the next. Once again, you're pivoting from right there at your throat, using that as your pivot. Basically, it opens up more of that neckline. You can feel things being different for you now. Bring your head straight on up. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, your head just rocks forward and rolls off to the side, back and around. And it just continues. And you find that the longer you breathe out, the more comfortable you become. The more your shoulders relax down, shoulder blades. You reverse directions with your head, and may even find that your hip, your thighs, your soles can just let go. Things become easier, smoother. Bring your head straight on up. Reset that posture. Pull yourself up nice and tall. Just allow yourself, actually, just to rise. Right now, feeling your torso lifting up all that space you're creating. Chin on up, eyes on up, expand. I don't even get to the smile part. And now you can smile if you want to. Feel that serotonin. It just flows down through your system, all through you are. Shoulder blades down the back, pelvis in underneath, rocking back onto those heels. Feel all that weight, all that pressure, literally just flowing down and out of you. As that does so, you relax your shoulder blades, your arms, literally, just let them just hang there. Let's be that ragdoll again, that marionette, how about that? And as you are that marionette, just having fun with it, your hands are gently lifted on up to either side. Your arms and shoulders literally hanging there. Your fingertips come on in, thumbs on up. Your hands rotate back and around. Now those hands begin rotating up and around as well. Now as it's happening, those arms are relaxing, the shoulders are relaxing. You find that there's more and more space in that shoulder socket. That things are moving smoother. Literally, by opening up the body, giving yourself room to move, things become easier, wider, smoother. Use that breath and it all that much better. As your hands come down, rising on up in front of you. Those hands just shake on out, looser and looser. Noodles, grab a finger, loose and limp. Find how easy that can continue down through your hands, forearms, elbows, shoulders, wherever you choose it's going. Bring those nice, loose, relaxed hands together and literally just let them just move around in that circle. The more that those hands follow around and around, the more and more relaxed they become. Literally, once again, just like those noodles. You can see it all the way down through your arms, your elbows, buys, tries, reverse directions. No effort at all. You find that your chin comes on up, eyes raised once again. You bring your weight back onto your heels, and then your right elbow just floats on up to the ceiling. Your hands following that other elbow. Hands come down. Brings it back up. This time I want you to hold on for a second. Relax those arms, relax those shoulders, even those hands. Feel those hands literally lifted by a piece of string, whatever you imagine. Your arms just hang there, your shoulder blades just hang there. You find that your mid-back, lower back, they relax and your pelvis just comes into place. Once again, those hands are lower down, off to the side, and drawn on up. Your arms are literally just hanging there off of them. Your shoulder blades as well. Your neck relaxes. You bring your chin on up, bring that weight back onto your heels, reverse directions. And find how easily this can happen. Literally, just be an observer. See it happening. You can go ahead and bring those hands in front of you. Thumbs, pinkies together. Bring your thumbs into your sternum with your knuckles straight on up. You extend your hands straight on out. Bring your chin on up. Rock your weight back onto those heels. Open yourself on up a bit more. Bring those eyes up as well if you like to. Expand that vision. Breathe through your nose. Go as deep as you want to. You all know that you get the effects, you get all the benefits, the more that you're willing to just relax and be that. It's good to extend your palms straight out in front of you. Even now, take a nice deep breath in as you breathe out. Those arms just extend in front of you. It's not something that you're having to force. As a matter of fact, that's the last thing you want to do. Relax those arms up into the shoulders. Your head may relax back, and then your hands just simply rise on up above you. You take a moment, let those shoulders reset, relax those shoulders, those arms, and those hands are just drawn up once again. You're literally feeling yourself being lifted higher and higher, longer and longer. Things just opening up easily. And as you breathe in, breathe out, your head just relaxes back gently, allowing your body to extend that much more. Lift it higher and higher. Feel your abdomen opening up, and as you breathe in, breathe out, those hands come floating all the way down to your sides. Wonderful. Let's go and bring ourselves down onto our mats on all fours, please. Hands and knees, nice and wide apart. Wiggles and squiggles. What's wiggling and squiggling about? I gotta tell you, when I got into the posture alignment therapy, I spent months, years, working on all the old stuff. Well, I know I messed that up. I gotta get that out of place. You know, you go for the obvious culprit, or you think it is. Now one day I realized, well, wait a second, that was me a long, long time ago. How am I actually now? And right now, as you're paying attention to your body, and as you're moving around, finding what needs to be sorted out, what needs to be changed, what you're ready to change, that's what this time is about. You make that decision. You set that intention for yourself. What are you here for? What do you want? Let's have fun with that. The shoulders move away from each other. That shoulder socket opening up easier and easier. Use that exhalation. Remember, don't force any of this. For a moment, breathe in, breathe out, and feel those shoulders literally just opening on up for you. The shoulders move on up towards your ears, back, down, and continue to roll all the way through. Now, as you do so, I'd like you to relax your head, please. Relax your neck.
There you go. Feel it becoming longer and longer. You know, it's funny, as we get older, well, things change in our bodies, right? Where did that fold come from? Where did that extra bit of skin come from? Hey, that's reverse directions. Now, when you think about it, if we're being pushed down, shoved down, and if we're holding our bodies in all these compressed ways, literally loosening our bodies in some ways and tightening them in others, why wouldn't it show up? Let's go ahead and bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Relax your head all the way down. Let it extend. And why bring that up? We all know that we start looking at our neck. We start seeing things there, right? As we get older. It's like, well, wait a second. It wasn't there before. But if your head is bent over, if your chin is in your chest, why wouldn't it be? As you find your neck becoming longer and longer, you find the things that you used to see begin to disappear. It's remember those hands and those wrists just a few moments ago, loose and limp like noodles, all the way up in those arms, shoulders. You're good at this, so you're getting better and better at it. And as you do that, you begin rocking forward and back on those hands, starting where you ended rather than from where you began. Unless you go all the way back to the very beginning, right? Before you start accumulating all the ouches, the accidents, the bandages, the compensations. We're here to rip those off, or just simply release them, let them go. For the pain part, right? Let's begin rotating around in a circle. You reach out to one side first with your shoulder, and then you open up through those ribs, through that side, your hip following it behind, and then your hip reaches out to the other side, opening up all the way down to those ribs again, and that shoulder right there. Continue. As you do so, once again, relax your head. Let it hang. And as you do so, you find that your spine opens up and becomes longer, longer, and longer. Reverse directions. Maybe you start to even bring your back up and over. I don't know. Listen to yourself. What's the best thing that you can do for yourself right now? Maybe it's just to be curious, playful, try new things. Rock back onto your heels. We're going to turn our hands so that our fingers come back towards us, and then bring whatever leverage, pressure you need down on those hands, and gently roll round through them. Once again, breathing in, breathe out, and then find that you can move easily through those positions. If you find anything that starts activating, kicking in, back off a little bit, breathe, continue on through, and you'll find that you go deeper and deeper, that much easier. Things just release for you. You feel good. Rock back onto your heels. You turn your hands over your backside. Now here you can support yourself with one hand, move to the other now. You can also think about how's the rest of your body feel. Your back. Sore lower back. Lift your chin on up. Change your leverage. Change the pressure. Change the weight. Let's go bring yourself all the way back down onto all fours. Hands directly underneath those shoulders. Get yourself nice and squared off. So we're looking to get those shoulders basically in the same place. One right straight across from each other. Same thing with the hips. You're looking for the symmetry. And as you have that for yourself, relax your head all the way down. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Relax. Let that just go. And as that happens, you feel a string gently drawing your spine on up towards the ceiling. Rising on up into cow position. You may even walk your hands a little bit closer to your knees. I don't know, it's up to you. You stop when you stop. Hang on out there for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Feel your ribs expanding with all that wonderful oxygen. All that fresh air. As you breathe out, you find yourself able to just rise higher and higher. Literally, you feel that string pulling you up more and more. You're just suspended there. You can literally feel your body swing to and fro. Imagine yourself being that marionette again. Just hanging there. No rigidity at all. Maybe some of the pieces in between a little stiffer. And yet at the same time, all those joints become looser and looser. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you relax down into cow position. Your hands walking away from your knees so that your hips can arch. Your chin comes on up, your head moves away from your tailbone, you relax your torso down, your shoulder blades coming together.
Your eyes come all the way on up. Open or closed, it does not make a difference. With your eyes all the way on up, expand your vision. Use all your peripheral vision. You can even smile if you like to. Give yourself a shot of the good stuff. Literally feel that shooting down through your spine. Go ahead and do it again. Think about something that makes you really, really happy. Really happy. There you go. And as you do that, feel what happens. Notice what happens. Break down that spine, opening up, cleaning up, clearing up, and emanating out all throughout who you are. With that wonderful knowledge in hand, you take another nice breath in and feel your spine lifted right back on up to the ceiling. You can walk your hands towards your knees if you want to. That head hangs all the way down. You're literally suspended by that string, feeling that wonderful arching in your back, your head hanging lower and lower, whatever you can stand, and even what's even pleasurable for you, finding that your spine is opening up possibly in ways that you may not have ever noticed, experienced, and yet you do it in a healthy, organic way, in a way where you're taking care of yourself, being mindful of yourself. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your hands walk away from your knees. You settle down into cow position. Arching your hips, your chin comes on up, your head moves away from your tailbone. You settle your torso down and your shoulder blades come together. Settling yourself on in, your eyes come all the way on up. You expand your vision and smile. Isn't it nice when you get to notice all the other things rather than what you may have just been stuck on? You know, so much of life, it is habitual. So many things we do over and over and over again, every single day. By taking that time to notice the other things, all those other things, because the world is full of them, isn't it? You can feel good about that. Even now, as you breathe in, you're coming to a neutral position, and then we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves over to our backs into foot circles. That's it. You're going to go ahead and extend your right leg on out in front of you. Nice and long. So what we're looking to do is open up that right hip. You want to make sure that you got room in there to do the work that we've come to do. You want to make sure that you got room in those hips as well, in those ribs. Fantastic. With your left foot up there by your bottom, you're going to push down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, bringing your lower back down to the floor. Bringing it into that neutral position, where you want it to be ultimately. With that in place, you go ahead, rock over to one side, bring your shoulder blade underneath, roll over to the other side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Fantastic. Talk about loose skin, huh? Notice how things feel right now. This is where our body's supposed to be at. Notice what's different. Literally. Notice where on your body things feel a little tighter, where things feel a little bit looser, whether that's a muscle, skin, feelings, thoughts, it doesn't matter. All the same. They all add up to the same things. And as you notice that, be curious about this process and how you can bring yourself to the state to feel good. Your hands just move down to your hips, and then your left knee floats towards your chest. Your hands reach down, up and around behind that knee, and you secure your leg, knowing you will not let go of that. In a moment, I'm going to have you relax as much as you possibly can. It is the key to health, to happiness, to joy, to be able to control yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your physical well-being. Being able to control your thoughts is the key to that. Your thoughts are off. Knowing that, I want you to go ahead and imagine yourself being, let's go easy, 10%, 10 times more relaxed than you've ever been. Only 10 times. Imagine that for yourself. How would your body feel? What position would you be in? How would you breathe? How would things look, sound? Even now, you can take a nice deep breath in, and then as you breathe out for as long as you can, enjoying that, let go. 10 times deeper. What would it be like to be 20 times more relaxed? How happy would you be? Flexible? Comfortable? Literally, even now, you just feel yourself melting down into your mat. Your hips, lower back, mid-back, shoulders, back of your head. Huh. Even as that's happening, your left foot just reaches out and it's so relaxed, and you get so much more flexibility, so much more extension to that shin, ankle, foot. Relax and keep all that. Imagine that circle at the end of your foot. You tie your big toe on up to it, and it begins rotating around. Circle. Well, that's where circles go, right? And as that goes, so does your foot. Just like driving a car, you don't have to think about it. You never think about your feet when you're driving a car, right? You may have thought about it at the very beginning. You're well past that. That foot just does what it does, and you get all the healing benefits because of it. And as that happens, you can pay attention to other things. Why not just feel good? Relax your hips. Feel them melting down into your mat, your lower back. You can even feel a wave of warmth, a shining of light, as it radiates on up through that mid-back, shoulders, deep down in between the shoulders, into your very spine. Up and over the top of your shoulders. Feel a nice squeeze there. Relax down and out, and allow your neck to become longer and longer. Reverse the directions with your foot. And you feel that wave of relaxation move up the back of your head and up over the top of your scalp, literally sending shivers, tingles through you. Not like when the fingernails, or they just kind of walk across. Those head massages, man, I love those things. That continues down over your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. Nice, gentle, easy smile may even come across your face as you breathe in, breathe out, relax even deeper, and allow your left foot to come down to your bottom. Your right foot comes up to your bottom, and your left leg reaches on out. It extends even longer, opening up that left hip, those ribs. If you like, you can even walk your back up your mat a little bit more with your shoulders. It's up to you. And your hands reaching out to either side. Roll off to one side, bring your shoulder blade underneath. Roll out to the other side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. And then your hands come down by your hips. Your right knee just floats in toward your chest. That's cool. Your hands come down, up and around behind it. And just hold on to it. You know you won't let go no matter how comfortable you become. It'll always be there. It's perfectly fine, which gives you permission to relax as much as you want. Even now, considering maybe still being as relaxed as you were, going deeper and deeper. Remember, every time you breathe out, your body releases tensions, toxins, worries, concerns. We talk about that core activation, that vacuuming, right? Why not do the same thing right here? As you breathe out, it doesn't have to be your core. It can be the whole self instead. Releasing, becoming more of who you are. What was all that extra stuff anyway? Right? Even now, as you breathe in and breathe out, that right foot just reaches easily out in front of you, all on its own, and opens up down that shin, ankle, top of your foot. Relax that foot. Keep all that extension. Imagine that circle. Hit your big toe on up. Let it go for that ride. Remember, breathe out, and that becomes smoother and smoother. Remember, every word I say is an exhalation, a release, a letting go. In order to speak, you have to breathe out. Every word I say is a gentle reminder just to relax, release, let go, go deeper and deeper. Reverse directions with that foot and find that happening easier and easier. Your right foot gently comes down to your bottom. Your left foot is drawn up towards your bottom. Your feet push down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. Imagine yourself being that ragdoll or that marionette, whichever works out best for you. As you do so, your torso moves off to one side and your shoulder blade just moves in underneath you.
Your torso rolls off to the other side, and that other shoulder blade comes in underneath you. They gently, easily find their place. Ragdoll, marionette. Nothing tight, nothing tense. You take a nice breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out, your knees just gently open on up into frog pose. And they may rock side to side as they do so, just like a leaf, just gently floating down through the water. When it settles down, go ahead and scoop your pelvis in underneath once again, lower back down to the floor. Those knees may continue to rock gently and easily. Imagine yourself just drifting deeper and deeper. Remembering breathing in through your nose, deep down into your belly. Even now imagining a ball or a balloon there. Literally seeing the color of it. As you breathe in through your nose, it goes directly down into that ball, balloon, and expands. You can imagine little massage nodules on it. It literally massages your internal organs. Your psoas muscles, your abdomen, your intestines, your hips, obliques. Literally feel your pelvis just opening on up. Feeling good now. As that happens, a string gently pulls your left knee on up towards the ceiling. You're not doing anything. You're simply observing it, letting it happen. Effortlessly and easily, that left knee is placed over on top of your right leg. Good. Scoot, move. Make yourself comfortable. Hips, shoulders underneath you. You can turn your gaze back to your left hand if you like. Your feet coming back towards your left hand as well. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Relax, let go. Go as deep as you possibly can. Relax as much as you possibly can. Find yourself discovering more and more flexibility. More and more space. More and more room inside of your body, inside of yourself, which enables you to move seamlessly, easily through life. It's a whole lot of words, a whole lot of letting go, huh? And you feel that easily happening for yourself as you just simply exhale. Relax, go deeper, 10 times, 20 times. How about this? What would it be like to be 50 times more relaxed than you already are? Literally, what would it be like? What would it feel like? What would it look like? Sound like? As you consider that, experience that now. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, your knees just move down away from your head, extending through your torso, pelvis, thighs. You shift your gaze to your left hand, your feet back to your left hand, your hands even move away from each other, opening yourself up more and more. It's like you're taking that jump, that leap for joy, right? You've seen the pictures. Big old smile on your face, wringing yourself out. You're literally wringing yourself on out. 50 times deeper, 50 times more comfortable, 50 times more relaxed. What was that like? Do it again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go. And remember, the whole idea is to be able to move throughout this program, throughout your life with this much ease. Much peace if you choose that. Be curious about how relaxed you can stay, how deep you can go as that left knee rises on up to the ceiling, skipping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. As you breathe out, leg opens on up into frog pose, and that right knee just follows on up, over and setting on to that other side. That ragdoll that you are, you literally just adjust your hips, your
shoulders. Bring your gaze back to your right hand if you want. Your feet back to that right hand. Take a nice gentle breath in. As you breathe out, let go. 10 times. 20 times deeper. 30 times. 40 times deeper. It's amazing what you're capable of if you're willing to do it. To be it. You're scary sometimes. I get it. I admit it. You gotta force yourself into the fire sometimes. Be willing to trust. Trust your breath. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your knees move down away from your head. Then your right knee just floats on up to the ceiling. And that string just drawing it on up. That ragdoll that you are, your pelvis just scoops in underneath or back to the floor as you open on up in a frog pose. And then that left knee just follows up and over. Gently, easily coming down. Your body extends, knees moving down away from your head. Extending through that torso, bring your gaze over your left hand. Relaxing as that left knee floats on up, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. Frog pose, and that right knee comes up and over. Continue at your own rate and speed. Be willing to open up as much as you possibly can. To feel good as you possibly can. Realize right now is your opportunity to make changes at such a deep core level. You're literally changing the chemistry in your body, your physiology, which is in turn going to change your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. It all adds up. Both of your knees are drawn out to the ceiling, your feet up there by your bottom. Your feet push down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. You roll off to one side, bring your shoulder blade underneath, roll off to the other side. That shoulder blade rolls in underneath. Your hands come down by your hips, and then your knees just float in towards your chest. Your hands moving down and wrapping up and around. You give yourself a big old hug. Make sure to exhale all the way through this. You need to breathe in, stop for a moment. Take whatever you need, or as little as you need, and as you breathe out, your hands move in between your knees, grabbing the outside of your feet easily and naturally. Bring yourself into whatever position is comfortable for you. Now, happy baby never just lies in one position. It ain't happening. It is not happening. Why should that happen with you? Unless you choose that. Unless you know as you think about it now, that that's what you need, be perfectly happy with that. You should. And at the same time, if you want to bring more motion, more life, more energy into you, do what you got to do. It's a funny thing about electricity. I was just thinking about it on the drive here. They call it electromagnetic energy. Funny thing, it's actually it goes the other way around. You don't get electricity without that movement of the magnet. Same thing with our bodies. Without some kind of movement at times, you don't get that energy. Even now, your feet just come down to your bottom. And as you think about that, you extend that right leg, opening up that right hip, considering all the energy you get to generate for yourself. Opening up through those right ribs. You can walk your back on up the mat if you like. Lengthening your spine, then your left foot up there by your bottom. It pushes down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, bring your lower back to the floor. Your hands reaching out to either side. You roll off, bring your shoulder blade underneath, roll off to the other side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. I want you to imagine yourself sitting on a dock, a rock, body of water underneath you, lake, stream, ocean, puddle. It really makes no difference. It's up to you. So do that now. As you look down into it, you see a reflection of yourself smiling, happy, joyful, healthy. Literally radiating.
like the sun just lights up around you, becoming brighter and brighter. Literally feel that energy coursing through you. Maybe it starts in your eyes where you first see that, and then it just flows down through you. And as it does so, that right leg reaches down a little bit further and then just easily, naturally, just swings slowly over to your left hand, reaching out all on its own, maybe grazing the surface of that image and sending all those wonderful sensations rippling out through you. Your hip, your ribs, and even as that right foot comes over your left hand, your gaze over your right hand, and shift your hips, your shoulders, make yourself comfortable. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe out, relax, let go. 10 times deeper, 20 times deeper. Every breath that you breathe out, you find your lower back relaxing, lumbar, your hips, and that mid-back, your shoulders. You can even adjust, move your body, do whatever you need to do. Your gaze may turn more to that right hand, who knows. May even lengthen, become longer, allowing that to happen that much easier, right? You create that space. Change happens. You feel it down through your hip, your thigh, your hamstring, knees, shins, calves. All that energy moving down through your ankles, top of your feet, and all the way down to your very soles. Enjoying that right foot reaches out even further and then slowly swings back down through, sending out even more ripples if you want to feel that. As that right foot comes back on up to your bottom, take a moment, reset yourself, breathe in. As you breathe out, that left leg extends, opens up down through that left hip, through those ribs. Find yourself back on that dock rock. You see that wonderful vision of yourself. Feel that. As your left leg reaches out on that exhalation, and then just slowly swings over to that right hand. Grazing the surface, sending those ripples, this time out through that left hip, through those ribs. As that left foot comes to that right hand, you settle that hip. Shoulders, bring your gaze back to your left hand if you want. Wring yourself out. As you feel those ripples making their way through that lumbar, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, that mid-back. Shoulders, you can adjust if you want, in between the shoulders, up over the top, your neck, your head, down your arms, very fingertips. Even as your left leg reaches out, feeling that opening down your thigh, hamstring, knees, shins, calves, ankles, foot, down your very soles. Feel that opening, that releases. That left foot just swings down through. Turns back on up to your bottom. Your right leg effortlessly just reaches out. You don't even have to do anything. Just observe it. Just be that rag doll and let it swing over to that left hand. What would it be like to be that rag doll? Literally be that rag doll. Be as loose and limp as you possibly can. Let everything just continue to go back and forth at your own rate and speed. Exhaling, breathing, releasing more and more, feeling things shifting, dropping into place. Remember, the body's like an onion, layer after layer. Things change, things feel differently. You move from one place to the next. Both of your knees come back on up to the ceiling, your feet by your bottom, pushing down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. Your hands come down by your hips, your knees float in toward your chest, and your hands just rise up and around, giving yourself another big old hug. Rock, roll. Make sure you're exhaling as you do so. Take a moment, stop, relax, take a breath in, ever so minutely. Don't need near as much as you may have previously thought. And as you breathe out, your hands just slide in between your knees, grabbing the outside of your feet. You bring yourself back into happy baby, whatever position is right for you. Notice how easy, how much easier things have become. That quick. Even now, take a moment, just sit still, take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, your back melts into the mat.
your hips, your lower back, shoulders. You release your feet. Your feet come down to your bottom, allowing you to relax even more. Your knees draw toward your chest a couple times, and then your knees and feet come up over your head, if you like. Breathing out as you do so. Make sure to use that exhalation. Find your body relaxing more and more. Even now in this position, breathe in as you breathe out. Relax your shoulders, mid-back, lower back, hips, whatever you don't need. It's amazing how much energy we waste by holding on to things that are completely unnecessary. Think about all the muscles that you just released. All that energy that you were wasting. I admit it, me too. All these things you hear me saying, I'm doing it all too. And even now, you can take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, relax back down onto your back. Gently, easily, your legs can reach on out, resetting your hips. Remember, exhale, breathe out. Breathe out all the way through it. If you do so, when you do so, you feel the difference. You know the difference. Why wouldn't you want to explore that as much as you possibly can? You allow both of your feet to come back on up to your bottom, pushing down to the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. Your hands reach out to either side, roll off to one side. That shoulder blade comes underneath. Your torso rolls over the other side. That shoulder blade comes underneath. Looser and looser. More and more relaxes. Those hips just gently and easily rock off from one side to the next. And you can walk your hips down your mat if you like to, elongating your spine. Literally, now is your time to counteract gravity, right? You find that as you just keep your head planted, your shoulders planted, you can feel that opening in your lumbar, your lower back, mid-back, in between them shoulders, even all the way up into your neck if you choose to. And you choose to do exactly what your body is ready to accept in the most beneficial way, the healthiest way. Do what's right for you. Good. Take another nice breath in. As you breathe out, you easily roll over onto your stomach. Doesn't matter how you get there, just enjoy it. Right? Remember, exhale. Find things becoming easier and easier. You bring your head onto your hands, and then you go up again, rocking those hips side to side once again. Walking them down your mat, feeling your lower back opening up, mid-back, shoulders, neck. Easier and easier. Use that exhalation. It's not about force. Be simply an observer, literally. The more that you can just observe it, not feel it, but just simply be it, the more you get to enjoy that. It's amazing what happens when you just simply let yourself be on autopilot, auto drive, doing what it naturally does, not what we think that it has to do. Your hands come by your ears, elbows in by your chest, you rise on up into a small cobra. Gently, easily rolling the shoulders, head, taking a wonderful fresh breath of air in. As you breathe out, you settle back down, your head onto your hands. You can rock those hips out once again, walking them down, finding that your spine releases that much more. Literally opening up that current, cleaning up that conduit, allowing that electricity, that energy that you are to flow that much clearer. Your hands come back by your ears, elbows in by your chest. You rise on up once again into a cobra. Taking another wonderful breath of fresh air, you find yourself able to move that much easier. While at the same time keeping it as smooth as you can. Don't step back in your old ways. Remember how relaxed, how easy all this has been for you. Why would you want to change that? Being curious about how relaxed you can be, how relaxed you can stay. Your toes scoop in underneath, and you move seamlessly, easily back into child's pose as you exhale, finding yourself just settling down in. And continuing to breathe out even after that. One moment tied seamlessly to another. Rolling through those ribs, that backline.
You bring yourself back on up to all fours. Just drawing on up, hands directly underneath the shoulders, rising on up into cat, relaxing down into cow, rolling through those ribs, those wrists. Your toes scoop in underneath. You bring your chin to your chest, and you're going to keep it there. Keep your chin to your chest as you activate your core. Literally take a breath in, breathe out, feel your hips lifted on up to the ceiling, and march it on out. Feel those hips, hamstrings, glutes opening on up down to your very soles. You walk your hands and your feet in together, putting a bend in those knees. You scoop your pelvis in underneath as you bring yourself to a standing position, stacking one vertebrae on top of another. Bringing that chin on up last, taking that wonderful breath in as those hands rise on up to the ceiling, bringing all that energy into you. And as you breathe out, you bring yourself all the way back, feeling absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. Grab yourself a drink of water, guys. We continue on. Just a real quick reminder for you guys. The reason why I have my eyes closed, once again, I know that I've said it before, the reason why I have my eyes closed so much throughout all this is so I can keep things straight up here. Our vision uses basically 70% of our mental computing power. So as we're processing all this stuff, that means that we're occupying a lot of space in our thought processing, right? Just in who we are. So by closing my eyes, it allows me to be able to keep the diatribe, right, all the things that I've been teaching you going, while thinking of all those other things along the way. I'm juggling literally all the way across. So if you, for yourself, if you want to be able to go deeper into these things as well for yourself, be able to get more into your body, just simply by closing your eyes, it allows you to have that ability. It gives you more of that processing. I want you to stay in that relaxed position that you were just a moment ago, remembering that as you breathe in, as you breathe out, your body can relax and you can settle down in behind your chair. Your right foot forward, your left knee back in behind, you scoop your pelvis in underneath, your chin coming on up, eyes on up. Breathe on in. As you breathe out, you smile easily and naturally. Go ahead and take another nice breath in. As you breathe out, you just rise effortlessly on up in that triangle. You keep an arch in your hips, your chin on up, a smile on your face. You breathe out in that chair, your sides forward. Continue to exhale as long as you can, even to the point where your right hip moves away from the back of the chair, your left hip comes forward. Take a moment to reset. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow those hips to open up even more. So literally our right hip moves back away from the chair. Our left hip comes forward. We're squaring our hips off. You're giving yourself more flexibility and more stability in your hips. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you release the back of the chair. Your hands coming down to the floor. Your left foot slides back behind you. Your chest comes in between your shoulders. Your chin comes on up, eyes on up. Expand that vision. Breathe in, breathe out, smile. Now I want you to be in that runner stretch position. Not the stretch, just the position. Put yourself into it. Breathe in, breathe out, relax. Settle your body, wherever you're at. You find that you can open up more and more as you do so. Bring your eyes up higher and higher. Your body literally follows where you look. Look up. And notice your body wants to open up more. It wants to be more. Your left shoulder blade comes back into the back of that rib cage. Your left hip comes down in underneath, looking over that right knee. Your right shoulder opens on up. You open up to that chest. You breathe that much easier. Once again, relax into that position. Breathe in, breathe out. Opening up that left hip, that IT band, your pelvis, your slides in underneath. Exhale as you bring yourself back into runner stretch and extend that right leg. You're going to rotate over to your left hand side. Take a moment, adjust your hips, let them settle on in. You lock out your knees if you want to. Breathe in, breathe out. Your chest just settles down in between your legs. And while you're in this position, that head of yours 10 to 12 pounds. 10 to 12 pounds. That's what they weigh. You can imagine even being a little bit more. 10, 12, 14 pounds, 15 pounds. Breathe out, exhale. Feel your spine becoming longer and longer. Your neck opening on up. Your shoulders opening on up. You go ahead and put a slight bend in your knees. Bring your hands on up to your hips, leaning with your chin. You bring yourself all the way on up to a standing position. Turn your feet slightly outwards, allowing your pelvis to continue in underneath. Shoulder blades down, back, chin on up, eyes on up, smile. So you're getting those hips, pelvis in that neutral position. Shoulder blades the same. Go ahead and bring yourself back to a standing position, walking your feet on in together. We bring yourself back in behind our chairs. Now, once again, keeping yourself in that state of wonderful relaxation, you bring your left foot forward, right knee back behind, breathe in, breathe out, settle down on in. Not so much easier. Once you're there, your pelvis scoops in underneath, shoulder blades down back, chin on up, smiles. Breathe on in, breathe out, you rise on up into that triangle position, and then your chair just slides out away from you. Keep that arch in your hip, chin on up, smile on your face. Exhale. And as you become horizontal, your left hip moves away from the back of that chair. Your right hip on forward. Take a moment, breathe in, breathe out. Settle. Let those hips open up, square on up. And that's the core of who we are, how we move, where movement literally is supposed to come from. It's all locked up. How well do we move? We know. Relax as you breathe out and let your hands come down to the ground. Your right foot slides back behind you. Your chest comes in between your shoulders. Chin on up. Eyes up even higher. Smile as you set into that runner stretch position. It's funny, I used to just crank this. And then one day I realized, wait a second, what am I doing? And then I exhale, just like you can right now. And you find that you can just simply be. All right, I'm here. That's cool. Let your right shoulder blade come into the back of the rib cage. Your right hip come in underneath, looking over that left knee, opening up that left shoulder blade, your chest. Get into that IT band through the right rib. Thigh, down through that knee. You feel your hip literally moving towards that back line, letting your pelvis come in underneath, moving into that neutral position. As you exhale, you bring yourself back into runner stretch. You straighten out that left leg, rotate over to your right hand side, reposition your hips, let your knees on out, breathe in, breathe out, let your chest come down in between your legs. Take another wonderful breath in as you breathe out, releasing into that tension. The weight of that head just elongates your back once again. Counteracting gravity. Literally, you're becoming longer and longer, taller and taller. That extra skin, we wonder where it came from. Well, we just got shorter. It got bunched up. Let yourself open back on up. Let yourself be you. Bring your right hand over to your left foot. Left hand comes over to your right foot as you exhale. Remember, every breath, every word I say is a breath, an exhalation. Bring yourself to a neutral position. Put a bend in your knees. Bring your hands on up to your hips, leading with your chin. Bring yourself all the way on up to a standing position. Your feet turn slightly outward. Your pelvis continues in underneath. Shoulder blades down and back. Chin on up. Eyes on up. Smile. Bring yourself back to a standing position, walking your feet on in together. On it. There's a class after us, so you can go ahead and leave your chairs over to wherever you're at. They will be happy for them. So real quick, I want to share something with you guys, and I hope that it comes across really clear, because it was really cool when it happened to me, and I want it to be really cool when it happens to you as well. So, sitting, right? We know that sitting can become, I don't want to sit on my mic. We know that sitting can become a pain in the back, right?
You get on, you've been sitting there, you're doing whatever you do, and then you get on. Well, we already know better than that. You do that whole side or whatever, the roll thing. But when you get on up, it's like things are still locked on up, right? And you're sitting there, you're doing all this and that. This is where that exhalation comes up. Everyone put their chairs away, didn't they, already? If you guys want it, go to your chair for one quick second here. I want you all to be able to experience this. If you got a chair, go ahead and do it. If you don't got a chair, that's perfectly fine. I just want you to be able to have some quick fun with it. All right, sit your butts down real quick. All right, now what I want you to do is we're going to go ahead. When we get up, we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to bring ourselves to that same position. And I want you to continue walking until you feel your back or your body settled into that positioning again, okay? So I want you to literally breathe out for as long as you can when you bring yourself up to the same position, and just walk a few steps. You don't have to go around the room or anything like that. What we're looking to do is transition, literally tie this moment into that next moment that happens in a few moments from now. Let's see if you get it. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring yourself on up to the same position. Let yourself continue to walk as your body shifts into your natural posture. Did anybody notice that for themselves? Okay, you got it. Okay, cool. So as we're doing that, I know it's a little different, and I didn't have all the time that I want to explain it, but I want to make sure that it got out today because I didn't want to forget it. What happens is when we're coming up from the sitting position into a standing position, we're literally bringing our body, so you're feeling your pelvis scooping underneath, shoulder blades coming back. You literally bring yourself into that proper posture, and it allows you to go through that transition without feeling each and every. You don't have to get up from here, do the whole. Try and get things into shape by being able to keep that motion moving, keep the body moving seamlessly from one moment to another. You don't stop, you don't grasp onto that pain. You just move through it, and you find that your body shifts in such a way where things just happen for you. I hope that makes sense. If you got questions, please ask me after. Let's get into the yoga part. Thank you for those moments. We're going to go ahead and take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, bring yourself down into downward dog. Walk those hands on out. Keep that exhalation going. As you march it on out, keep that energy moving as you bring yourself forward in the plank position. Rotate those elbows in, riding them all the way down to the ground, pushing down into the floor, dropping those shoulder blades, rising on up into cobra. Your head moves away from your tailbone. You turn your knees on out to the side. You can relax your torso between those shoulder blades. Remember to breathe. Bring your gaze off to one side. Bring it over to the other. Remember, tie one moment seamlessly as you bring your gaze forward, up. Breathe out. Bring yourself all the way down. Take a moment. Reset that spine, your hips, or whatever you got to do. You're going to tuck your chin into your chest. Keep it there. Activate your core. Feel yourself lifted on up into downward dog. March it on out. Then go ahead and shift forward in the plank position again. Rotate those elbows in. Ride them down to the ground. Push down to the floor. Drop those shoulder blades. Rise on up into cobra. Head moves away from your tailbone. Knees turn outward. Shoulder blades relax together. Chest comes through. You bring your gaze off to one side. Then the next. Forward, all the way up, relaxing all the way down. Resetting, tucking your chin, activating your core, rising on up into downward dog. Going into those warrior positions. Your right foot comes up to your right hand. Left foot rotates, right hip in, hands back, activate your core, rise on up into warrior one. You bring your weight back over that left hip and your arms easily open up as you exhale. Tying one moment into another. We're doing that sitting standing thing right now. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you bring yourself into warrior two. Your arms moving away from each other. You flip that front hand. You bring yourself back into reverse warrior. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your right elbow softly comes down on that right thigh. Your left hand just rises on up to the ceiling. Your right hand comes down to the ground. You breathe in, breathe out. Your left hand comes up over and forward, elongating that whole side of your body. Activate your core, bring yourself back into warrior two. Keep that motion going as we bring our hands down to the ground. Rotate those elbows in, rise them down to the ground. Push down forward, drop those shoulder blades, rise on up into cobra. You relax down, tucking your chin into your chest, activating your core, rising on up into downward dog. Warrior left side, left foot to left hand. Right foot rotates, left hip in, hands back, activate your core, rise on up into warrior one. Shift your weight back over that right hip, your hands open, expand away from each other. Breathe in, breathe out, bring yourself into reverse, warrior two. Breathe in, breathe out, flip, reverse. Exhale, your left elbow comes down to the left thigh, your right hand reaches on up to the ceiling, your left hand comes down to the ground. You exhale and your right hand comes up, over, and forward. Activate your core. Bring yourself all the way back into warrior two. Straighten up that front leg. Come on up and out of it. Wonderful, guys. So I hope that made a little bit better sense. Go ahead and grab your bases and we'll continue on. The more that we're able to continue motion, to continue life, rather than having all the stops, those hurts and those jerks, the easier everything becomes. It's kind of like driving a cool Moore road right now, right? Compared to some new pavement. Man, you're hitting some bumps up that thing, or on the island in general. Where we at? Terrific. Let's go ahead and pull ourselves up, nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves in a maze to lock this stuff in. So basically, we've been opening the body up, getting ourselves in the proper postures. Now, by applying weight to it, we get those bodies in motion. Let's go ahead and push ourselves up nice and tall. Make sure everything's stacked one top of another. Activate those lower glutes. Bring your chin on up, smile. Shoulder blades relax down and back. Let's go back in that stomach out. So you breathe into your stomach, and as you breathe out, find it becoming tighter and tighter. You find that corset literally activating for you, locking everything else in that position. With your knees nice and relaxed still, though, you're able to bend them and then bring that mace up, back, and around behind you. You check your posture once again, glutes, core, shoulder blades. That core is activated. Go ahead and let that mace swing side to side. Now, as you're doing this, you're not swinging it. You literally just gave it a little burst of energy at the beginning, and the inertia just carries it on and on. Fantastic. Let it come to a standstill. Reset your posture. Pelvis, core, shoulders, chin, smiles. Pull that mace towards the back of your head, extending those elbows on out. Make sure to keep that arch out of your back. That's where that decompression, that vacuuming works out. Just go ahead and bring your hand back around behind, bring that mace on forward. We're going to go ahead and switch hands. So whatever hand was on top goes to bottom, bottom hand goes to top. Activate your glutes. Chin on up, shoulders blades down back. Vacuum out your core, make it nice and tight. Relax your knees. Bring that mace up, back and around behind. Check your posture, then let it swing. Gently, easily, side to side. You relax your arms, your shoulder blades to allow them to go deeper and deeper down into that back line. Resetting them, literally. Let it come to a standstill. Glutes, core, shoulders, chin. Pull the mace in towards the back of your head, extending those elbows on out. Breathe. Let the shoulders relax. There you go. Reach back and around. Bring the mace on forward. Alright, we're going to get into our squats. So bring your weight back over your heels. Keep your chin on up. Eyes up at a 45. Activate those glutes. Use those as the driving force. Make sure to keep your torso up as vertical as you possibly can. Let's begin. Bring yourself down. And continue. Keep that chin on up. Keep those eyes on up. Use those glutes. There you are. And make sure to breathe. I'm still talking, right? And things are still moving. We tie one moment into another, easily and naturally. Last one right here. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do the series really, really quick. We're at the very end of things. Pull yourself up nice and tall. Activate those glutes, chin on, not shoulders back. Let's go ahead and activate that core. Do the vacuuming, right? Make it nice and tight. So take a nice breath in. Breathe out. You literally relax. Not weird. You relax, and it becomes tighter and tighter. Wonderful. Let's do it. Step on out to your right hand side, scooping through. And we got 6 of these. 3, 4, using that pelvis. 5, 6, we're going into those squats. Set yourself, chin on up, activate those glutes. Bring on down. 2, use that breath, keep that chin up, keep those eyes up. 4, 5, 5 curls. 1, 2, pull out on that mace, bring your shoulder blades together. 4, 5, the mace comes up overhead. 5 tries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The weight comes to your right ear. Tail across, tail down, set up to the left. 5 grave diggers. Remember, you're using that pelvis to do the work for you. You're keeping that back nice and vertical, keeping that chin on up, using that breath. Last one. 5 squats. Set on up, glutes, chin on up, eyes up, bring it down. Keep that weight over your heels. By keeping the weight over your heels, 3, that takes the pressure off your knees. Last one right here. 5 curls. 1, 2, rip out on the mace. 3, bring those shoulder blades together. 4, 5, weight goes overhead. 5 tries. 5 twos. 2, 3, 4, 5. The weight comes to your left ear. Tail across, tail down. Bring on down. All right, let's bring yourself to your mats. Down into child's pose, please. Feel good, please. I hope you are. I am. Alright. Letting yourself extend nice and long, enjoying all that flexibility, all that healing, all that health that you're giving yourself. Let's go ahead and walk over to your right hand side. Open up those left ribs. I want you to think about 3 things that you are grateful for. 3 things that bring a smile to your face, joy to your heart, makes everything worthwhile. It's all this worthwhile, huh? Maybe that's why you're here in the first place. Or part of the reason, who knows? Let's go ahead and walk over to the left-hand side, open up those right wrists. I want you to think about 3 things that make today terrific, fantastic, absolutely amazing. You got the whole dang weekend on top of it. How about that? I'll give you a weekend for it. You've got a cruise boat full of people out there that want to celebrate. Isn't that nuts? Boatload after boatload of people that have waited their entire lives to be here. Crazy. Let's bring yourself back to child's pose. Bring yourself on up into all 4s. Cat, dog, cow, doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable with. Because right now it's all about you. Daily affirmation time. I am. What do you choose to be? What do you want to be? Who are you? You already tell yourself that anyway. We all do. Is that really what you want to be? You want to be even a better version of that, man. How cool is that? You simply enjoy who you are. That's the best one right there, huh? Choice. Go ahead, take a nice breath in as you breathe out. Your hands rise on up to the ceiling. Bring yourself right back to that state of gratitude. Grateful for yourself for taking care of yourself. Way to go! Wonderful people joining you for that journey. Take a nice breath in, breathe out. Let those hands come floating all the way down to your sides. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very, very much. Another wonderful week, another wonderful day.